The USS Enterprise, the NCC 1701-D, or Enterprise D to distinguish it from earlier and later starships with the same name, is a 24th century starship in the Star Trek fictional universe and the principal setting of the Star Trek The Next Generation television series. The Enterprise D also appears in the pilot episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the series finale of Star Trek Enterprise, and the movie Star Trek Generations. The Enterprise D is a Galaxy-class ship and the 5th Federation starship in the Star Trek universe to carry the name Enterprise. Enterprise D is the flagship of Starfleet. In most of its service in the Star Trek universe, the commanding officer of Enterprise D is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. In Star Trek Generations, after combat with the Duras sisters' ship, the ship's star drive section was destroyed and the saucer section crash-landed on the surface of the planet Viridian 3. The ship was replaced by the Sovereign-class starship USS Enterprise, the NCC 1701-E. Andrew Probert, who helped update the original Enterprise for Star Trek The Motion Picture, designed the Enterprise D. Originally assigned to design the bridge, Probert had a what-if sketch hanging on the wall that he had drawn working on the Star Trek motion picture. Story editor David Gerrold saw the sketch and brought it to the creator Gene Roddenberry's attention. Roddenberry approved the sketch as a starting point for the Enterprise D's design. Probert received a patent on the Enterprise D design in 1990. An Industrial Light and Magic team supervised by Ease Owing built 2 filming miniatures, a 6-foot model and a 2-foot model, for Encounter at Farpoint, the Star Trek The Next Generation pilot, and these models were used throughout the first 2 seasons. For the 3rd season, model maker Greg Jean built a 4-foot miniature which had an added layer of surface plating detail. The 6-foot model was used whenever a saucer separation sequence needed to be filmed, and it was then updated by ILM for use in Star Trek Generations. In October 2006, the 6-foot Enterprise shooting miniature was auctioned in New York City, along with other models, props, costumes, and set pieces from the Star Trek franchise. Its projected value was $20,000 to $30,000, but the final sale price was $576,000. It was the most expensive item in the auction. ILM's John Knoll also built a CGI electric image model of the Enterprise D for the film Star Trek Generations in 1994. The model was transferred to Lightwave and used to create various Galaxy-class starships in episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and in the Star Trek Voyager episode Timeless. The proportions of the Galaxy-class Enterprise D were different from the original Enterprise, while retaining its familiar dual-warp nacelles and saucer section appearance. The nacelles were made proportionally smaller than the saucer section based on the idea that warp engines would have become more efficient over time. The Enterprise D is first seen in the episode Encounter at Farpoint under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard. During the Star Trek The Next Generation series, the ship's crew makes first contact with multiple species, including the Borg in Q Who and the Q Continuum in Encounter at Farpoint. The Enterprise D is instrumental in the defeat of the Borg during the 2366 attempt to invade the Federation in the Best of Both Worlds Part 2. The Enterprise's saucer section crash landing in 2371 as depicted in Star Trek Generations, the Klingons' Duras sisters obtained the phase modulation frequency of the Enterprise D's shields, rendering them useless. Although the Enterprise D destroys the sisters' ship, damage to the warp drive coolant systems prompts an emergency saucer separation. The warp core breaches moments after the saucer begins to move away, destroying the ship's star drive section. The resulting shockwave disables the saucer's propulsion and other primary systems, sending it into Viridian 3's atmosphere. Caught in the planet's gravity, the saucer section crash lands on the surface, damaged beyond repair. It was replaced by the Enterprise E, which was introduced in the film Star Trek First Contact.